I have been all over the place recently. I've been in Los Angeles for Podcast Movement Evolutions. I have been in San Diego for Social Media Marketing World. I will be in Orlando today if you are listening to this live. And I will be back in San Diego for Traffic and Conversion Summit. But all the way through this, I've continued recording my podcast. And Coach Rita, the wonderful friend and listener of the Podcast Accelerator, Coach Rita, sent me an email and said, Marco, what's going on? How do you record your show so well on the road? Well, Coach Rita, and for everyone else curious, I'm going to give you my very favourite mobile podcasting setup right here today on the Podcast Accelerator. Of course, I'm Mark Asquith, CEO and co-founder of Rebel Base Media. We make Captivate.fm, the world's only growth-oriented podcast host, and the podcast host that has a support team that makes you not feel stupid. We treat you like a human being. Isn't that nice? Well, guess what? You can check that out for 7 days free at Captivate.fm. And also, do remember that the show is brought to you by AWeber, the amazing email marketing platform that is continually releasing new things to make your relationship life with your listeners easier as a podcaster. And I know they've got some things coming down the wire. I was very lucky to be able to go out for dinner with AWeber and a few other people here in San Diego, but they've only just got started. So, can you really stand out amongst the almost 1 million podcasts out there? The only thing you've got is your genuine listeners. So go and start to build a relationship with them today using AWeber at markasquith.com/AWeber. So, Coach Rita, hello if you're listening, which I'm sure you are. Thank you for emailing. I've been out on the road, and I always bring with me a couple of recording rigs. In fact, I usually bring 3 recording rigs outside of the camera. In fact, I'll tell you all 4 of them so that we can really dig into this. And what you'll notice is that this episode, for example, sounds kind of tight. There's not much background noise. I'm sat here on the balcony looking out at San Diego Bay as I record this, and I'll be in Orlando as you listen to it because it will be pre-published, and it sounds good. Go and listen to 126. That one had background noise. That was me on the floor of San Diego Convention Center. You could hear the bells, you could hear the things in the background, the people walking past, you could hear people whooping, because that's what social media people do. And it's all down to the setup. I actually really like that ambience for when I'm out there and saying, I'm actually on the road, this is what's going on. So the rig that I use, Coach Rita, and in my view, it's sort of a graded rig. It sort of steps up in the ability to be able to do things. Okay, so as you know, back at home, I've got the Rodecaster Pro. I've got 2 of them, actually. I've got one in my home studio, which is linked to a Heil PR40, and I've got one at the recording studio at Rebel Base Media, which is also linked to the Heil PR40. Like, that's my ideal setup. I love that. And I also love, actually, my Rode Procaster as well, which is my backup microphone, which I've had since day 1 in podcasting. But the Rodecaster Pro, when you're traveling for 9 weeks, is not the best thing to carry around. So I actually, like I said, I bring a few different rigs out. Now, first of all, I bring a camera rig. So what I'm talking about here, Rita, is when I go ahead and I want to do vlogs. So I'm going to be doing a Podfest vlog, and I've got just a little nice Rode microphone on the top of the GoPro. So I've always got some video recording gear, which, if I wanted it to, could act as my podcast gear. The microphone is fine. I could plug that if I wanted to into my input on my computer, and that would actually do it. It's not the most elegant, but I could do it. So that's kind of the video side of things. But then I've got 3 other rigs, and I grade them in terms of what I perceive to be quality. So the quickest and dirtiest version of this, so the lowest grade, if you like, is the ATR 2100 microphone into my iPhone or my iPad using the Apple iPhone connector. Dead simple. Get the camera connector, plug your ATR 2100 in via USB, and you can record into your phone onto voice memos or to Boss Jock or some other software. So that's like the most basic backup version. I can also use that, of course, for Facebook Lives. So that's really handy. The next step, or the next version of the recording kit that I carry around with, is the laptop. It's my MacBook Pro with Audition running on it, and I can record using my ATR 2100 microphone into Audition, directly into Audition. It's nice and easy. I can have some templates set up, and that's a real nice rig. But it requires complete battery power on my MacBook, and it requires me to have the MacBook fired up, ready to roll. And that can be quite complex sometimes because you need to plug the earphones in, if you've got the template with the music and so on and so forth. And it's not always the most portable rig. But it's good. It's a great rig. And that's actually, if you're not doing much recording, sticking an ATR 2100, which is a USB microphone, into your bag with your laptop, that's actually the I believe is the best and most finely balanced version of a mobile podcasting setup. However, the best quality setup that I have for mobile right now that gives me the ability to play the music that I have live, so the ability for me to press the button and to be able to put the music in just like this, that setup is my EV-ND767A microphone, which is an XLR microphone, into my Zoom LiveTrack L8 desk. So let me break that down for you. So I actually love the ATR 2100 microphone. I think that's an absolutely outstanding mic, and I would use that with this desk as well. But I just like the gain. I like the volume of the EV and the richness of the voice, and the way it just suits my voice a little bit more. So I've always got an EV-ND767A microphone in my bag, as well as the ATR 2100 when I'm traveling. So I just stick them in my rucksack. They don't take up much room. But I used to use Rita, a Zoom H6, which is an amazing recording device. It allows you to have up to 5 channels, recording onto an SD card, and it's fantastic, but it is just an audio recorder. Like, it's not got the ability to have sound beds, which is what I love about the Rodecaster Pro. But the problem with the Rodecaster Pro, even though I can press the button, give you the music, overlay things, call people in, do all sorts of cool stuff, the problem with that is that it requires a power outlet. I have to be plugged into power. So the guys at Zoom, who make Zoom hardware, recording hardware, and the wonderful team at Gear 4 Music in the UK, they sent me what is Zoom's equivalent of the Rodecaster Pro, but with one big difference. The fact that this is battery operated as well as mains powered. So what I can do is I can record, pop an SD card into the back of the Zoom LiveTrack L8, plug my microphone in, make sure it's got batteries, and instantly record anywhere without needing a laptop. All I need is my headphones, my mic, and my little mini desk. And it's great because it's light and it throws itself in the bag super simply. So it's an outstanding bit of kit. Really, really good. Don't get me wrong. If you're in a studio, the Rodecaster Pro, for my money, I would use that just because I'm more used to it and I love it. But for the budget, for the pricing, the Zoom L8, the LiveTrack L8 is a little bit cheaper than the Rodecaster Pro, and it does pretty much the same stuff. There's maybe some trade-offs, like it looks a bit more complicated. It perhaps has some things that you don't really need as a podcaster in there. It looks like they've used the chassis from another desk to try and MVP this product out, which is completely fine. It doesn't take away from the product. But the Rodecaster, whilst it was designed from scratch, really, really talks to a podcaster. The podcasters get what they need from it. The Zoom looks a little bit more complicated, but I can stick it in my bag, Rita. I can start to talk to you from anywhere, records to an SD card, and I can process that audio later. I don't need my laptop with me. So that's the real beauty of this. So that is what I've been recording most of my shows on. There are some that I haven't. So I think there's been so far 2 episodes that I've recorded into my laptop with my ATR 2100. Everything else has been done using my EV-ND767A microphone and my Zoom LiveTrack L8 recorder with the sound beds that allow me to play the music and add other channels, add other people into the mix. So that is the mobile recording rig that I would recommend if you have the budget for it. If you don't have the budget for that, use your existing laptop and an ATR 2100 microphone. If you don't want to carry your laptop around, go ahead and use your ATR 2100 microphone into your iOS device or your Android device using the relevant camera adapter, which will do just fine into some kind of app like Boss Jock Studio. But like I said, for my money, find a good microphone that you really love and check out the Zoom LiveTrack L8. So, Rita, great question. No doubt you'll email me through on the back of this, which I really, really appreciate. Let me know if you found it handy. And thank you to everyone else that's joined me. If you're at Podfest, come and stop by the booth today. It'll be great to talk to you. Come and grab some Rebel Base Media swag, including our famous T-shirts. And until the next time, I will see you on the flip side. And never forget, the more you expect from yourself, the more you will excel.